and take it if you want it. Come and take it if you think you can. Come and take it, but I warn you, you'll have to pry it from a cold dead.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, as you can see, we are talking about the Kahr CW9 9mm pistol. This is the very nice two-tone model. And just so you don't whine like little bitches, magazine's out, and the chamber is clear. So, there you go. Don't whine like a little bitch. Alright, let's get right into this bad boy. So this is the Kahr CW9. This is the compact, I don't know, I forget what CW stands for, but it's the CW9. It's the model number CW9093. There's your magazine. So I really dig this gun. It's definitely got a nice compact feel to it. With the magazine in, I get a nice full grip on that. Keep my finger off the trigger, don't really give a shit, deal with it, don't whine. So I think I have an excellent firing grip with that. It really lines up nicely in my hands. I get a good, nice grip with it. You can shoot really nicely with this. I'm very consistent at about 15 yards with a good group about the size of my fist with just basic 115 grain ball ammunition. I do run hollow points when I carry it. That is my preference. It is best that way, in my opinion. So let's talk about the specifics here. This is the CW9. We have a overall length of 5.9 inches, so just shy of 6 inches in length. We have a 4.5 inch height from the top of the slide to the bottom of the actual pistol grip. That does not take into effect the extra length there on the magazine. We have a slide width here of 0.9 inches. I actually did that, went and measured that out. It's actually 0.92 according to my calipers. But hey, 0.9, it's smaller than an inch wide. I think that's excellent. As you can see, nothing juts out other than the takedown here and the slide catch. But that's nice. Very flush on this side. You just have the little end of the slide release there for the takedown pin. I think it's very clean, no safeties, none of that nonsense. You don't need it, in my opinion. Then I am a Glock guy, so I'm not interested in crap on my gun. So let's talk about the weight here. This, according to their website, this weighs 15.8 ounces. 15.8 ounces dry with no magazine. Now I put this on my scale and it actually weighed 16.7 ounces. So they were about a full ounce wrong according to what they said and what I weighed in at. So we're gonna use my weights for all the information I'm gonna give you here. So according to the, I'm gonna use my measurements. So I have 16.7 ounces for the firearm and 1.9 ounces for an empty magazine, giving us a total of 18.6 ounces dry unloaded. Now, once you go ahead and load the magazine with 7 rounds, that's going to give us a 4.9 ounce weight for the magazine, so just basically shy of 5 ounces for the mag loaded. So with the 16.7 ounces for the firearm and the 4.9 ounces for the magazine, that's going to come into an overall weight of 21 ounces on the dot. So just shy of 2 pounds, a little bit more than 1.5 pounds. So if 16 ounces is 1 pound, 20, well actually, it's shy of 1.5 pounds actually. So we're just about 1.5 pounds on the overall weight there, which is really nice. I think it's got a great weight to it, very even. It doesn't feel front heavy, it doesn't feel handle heavy at all. I think you get a nice even weight distribution loaded with this gun. The magazine is a 7+1, so 7 in the mag, 1 in the chamber for a total of 8 rounds that you can carry. I think 8 rounds is not bad for a very slim, compact gun. Hell, you could get a full-size 1911 and you only get 7+1 on most of them. So hey, we're matching that in for a fraction of the weight of a 1911. This is a 9mm. This does come, I believe, the CW40. So this is there's a 40 version. I don't know if there's a 45 version of the CW series, but there might be, not positive. So for, again, firepower, I'm just running 9mm standard, 124 grain hollow point, no plus P or anything like that for mine. They're just standard 124 grain hollow points. Ergonomics of this gun, I think this gun's ergonomics are actually excellent. It fits in my hand really nice, and as you know, I have large hands, so smaller guns tend not to fit me too well, but in this case, this gun fits really nicely in my hands. I have an excellent firing grip that I can maintain and helps me put rounds down range on target very easily. The one thing about this gun that I do have a little bit of an issue with the ergonomics is the trigger. I'm not super fanatical about the trigger. It has a very long trigger pull. So let's go ahead and dry fire it here. So as you can see, if you watch the trigger pull, holding, pulling, break. So let's go again. See, there isn't like a set point. You don't feel it. It's really hard. I know it's right there only because I fired this gun enough, but if you didn't know it, see, like right there, I pulled just shy of it. Let's talk about the reset here. If you can listen, you have a really long reset. I mean, almost all the way out for that reset. Listen to it again. I mean, I'm almost all right there. I mean, there's almost no difference. I mean, minimalistic difference between grabbing the gun for the first shot and for the reset. So one of the things, a very long trigger, but then on these compact pistols, that is kind of the norm. Now, according to their website, the trigger pull is between, it says between 4 and 6 pounds. When I put it on my trigger pull scale, I got a pretty solid 4-pound trigger pull, and that feels about right. Honestly, my Glock comes in at about 3.5 on my 17, 3 even on my 19. And this is definitely a little heavier than both of those. And I think 4 ounces for a pocket pistol style gun is pretty solid. I wouldn't really dink with it at all. The only thing I wish is we could have a much shorter travel on the trigger, would be my only change to the gun. The sights, very nice sights. It's not a 3-dot, it's a single dot with a line. As you can see there on the rear sight, you just have a little line in the notch and a dot in the front. So you put the dot on the line, you make your eye, and then you bust the bad guy in the dome. So I have really it's very easy to acquire target with this. I haven't changed the sights out at all. Very rarely do I do that on any of my guns. I tend to run pretty stock guns. I don't need it. I think the sights on here do really well. They tend to be pretty easy to acquire during the day. They are not light up sights, so you do not have any of that at night. So that is kind of one drawback to this, but this is not my nighttime side of the bed pistol. I generally use one of my Glocks with a mounted laser light on the front, so I don't have to worry about this. You can get the laser, the Crimson Trace laser that goes on the front here. For my needs, I don't really see the point. I like the lightweight, compact style of this. I don't really feel the need to put that on the front of my gun. But again, you may want that. For the field strip, it's actually pretty easy. You see the 2 notches, one there and one there. You pull it back, line up the 2 notches, and you just push this right out. It comes out like that. Pull the trigger and slide the slide right off. Bada bing, bada boom. And schmutza falls out of my gun because it was in my backpack today. So I had some schmutza. Very simple. Put it back, do the same, line up the notches. Get your barrel out of the way. Line up the notches. Get that through. Pop that right in. And bam, back together. Super easy field strip. Same as the Glock once you have it open. So let's go ahead and pull it down one more time. Pop that right off. Slide that off. Field strip. We take the rod off. Now this is where you get a little different. This is it's hooked on the bottom, so it's not going to come out the bottom of that, but you do have all the spring up front that you have to contend with. The barrel does come out nice in one piece. This is a 3.1 inch barrel, so not a very long barrel at all, and use similar mechanisms to your Glock. This needs to be cleaned and oiled a little bit. It's been shot a couple times. So then we just put our spring back in, and this can be a little bit tricky. You gotta get there we go, right through all of those, find the hole. I said hole, your mama hole. And then we get that back on there, find a nice spot, line her up, and put her right through. Charge that, and hey, look at that, we're good to go. Super simple field strip, easy to maintain gun, excellent, excellent gun. Like I said, accessories, very few accessories. You can get extra magazines. I believe there's an extended magazine out there, but I haven't really done too much. There's not a whole lot in the way of sights. You can get night sights for this, I believe. It's about the only thing I found out there for the CW9 series. You can get a lighter trigger spring. There are the 5-pound trigger springs I've seen from Wolf. I haven't chosen to put one in because, like I said, when I put this on my trigger pull scale, I get 4 pounds on the pull, so I'm pretty good with that 4-pound trigger pull. Not an issue for me. As for reliability, Kahr is a very reliable gun. People who carry Kahrs generally swear by them. As you all know, I'm pretty much a Glock guy, so for me to carry something other than a Glock, it's got to be really reliable, and I've never had an issue with Kahrs. This is probably the third Kahr that I have. I had a CW9 before. I sold it because I didn't use it much and my buddy wanted it. I picked up a PM9. It was a little small for my hand, so I sold that and I went back to a CW9 because it seems to just fit my hand really nicely. It's got the more 1911 grip angle there. Not really an issue for me. I can get a nice high grip under there without any slide bite. I can build a nice base for my shooting purposes, and I'm very happy with it. I've never had any real issues. The only issues shooting this gun I've had were my own issues, because I do reload and occasionally you get a light load or you get a shitty primer in there, and I can't really fault the gun for any of those issues. That primarily was my problem, not the gun. So for value, again, I picked this up on the secondary market from a friend who was looking to sell it. I paid $400 for it, mostly because it's barely been shot by him. I think he had maybe 100 rounds through it. Kept it in immaculate condition, always in the box, always covered up. I picked it up from him and have been carrying it, and I've put a couple hundred rounds through it myself and very much enjoyed this gun. I highly do recommend the Kahr. If you are looking for a very compact single stack firearm, especially in the 9mm market, I think this is an excellent option. I have fired the 40, the CW40. I think for as small a barrel and as light a gun this is, I think the 40 caliber is just too powerful for this size gun. If I'm going to shoot a 40, I'd like a little bit heavier, a little bit bigger gun, slightly longer barrel preferably, just to kind of balance out the power, because the 40 is a high pressure round. So for this size gun, I think the 9mm is the right way to go. But if you're a 40 guy, that's fine. You can go for the 40. But again, I'm a 9mm guy, so the CW9 is definitely my choice in the Kahr market. Now, I believe the CW is the lower end of the three variants of the Kahr guns, but I think for the money, you can get these in the secondary market probably anywhere from about $375 to about $425 is what I've been seeing, even in this current market. So for me, picking this up for $400 wasn't a big deal at all. I think $400 is a good price for a barely used gun that I know is well taken care of. So if you're in the market for a small compact pocket pistol or a very lightweight concealed carry gun, I think the Kahr is an excellent way for you to go. As always, Semper Fi, have a good day.
So you best not cross that line. If you want this gun, you gotta come through us and take it one shot at a time.